आचार्य ठाकुर कहाँ मोरा भट्ट जुगा, कहाँ कबीरा, कहाँ मोरा भट्ट जुगा, कहाँ कबीरा। एक काले कोठा गेला गौरा नटराज, एक काले कोठा गेला गौरा नटराज, एक काले कोठा गेला गौरा नटराज। जे अनिलो प्रेमाधना करुणा प्रचुर, हे न प्रभु कोठा गेला आचार्य ठाकुर। आशाने कुटीबो माथा अनले पशिबो, पाशाने कुटीबो माथा अनले पशिबो, गौरांगे गुणेरा निधि कोठा गेले पाबो, गौरांग गुणेरा निधि कोठा गेले पाबो, से सब संगीरा संगे ले कैलो बिलास, से सब संगीरा संगे ले कैलो बिलास, से संग न पाइया कांदे नरोत्तम दास, से संग न पाइया कांदे नरोत्तम दास। जयानी लो प्रेमाधना करुणा प्रचुर, हे न प्रभु कोठा गेला आचार्य ठाकुर, हे न प्रभु कोठा गेला आचार्य ठाकुर। कहाँ मोरा स्वरूप रूपा, कहाँ सनातना, कहाँ मोरा स्वरूप रूपा, कहाँ सनातना, कहाँ दास रघुनाथा पतित पावना, कहाँ मोरा भट्ट जुगा, कहाँ कबीराज। एक कले कोठा गेला गौरा नटराज, एक कले कोठा गेला गौरा नटराज, पाशाने कुटीबो माथा अनले पशिबो, गौरांग गुणेरा निधि कोठा गेले पाबो, गौरांग गुणेरा निधि कोठा गेले पाबो, से सब संगीरा संगे से कैलो मिला, से संग न पाइया कांदे नरोत्तम दास, से संग न पाइया कांदे नरोत्तम दास। Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jayo Vaishnav Thakur, Vaishnav Thakur, Vaishnav Thakur, Jayo Vaishnav Thakur, Jayo Narottam Das, Narottam Das, Narottam Das, Jayo Narottam Das, Jayo Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, God Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. जय श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय, हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय। Hare Krishna. So that was a song by Narottam Das Thakur, and we will be talking about, actually Bhisma Panchak is going on, and so many devotees are following Bhisma Panchak to advance in their spiritual life, and they want to control the senses and give more time to Krishna. So why we generally follow this Bhisma Panchak and all? Because we have less material activities, and we should not spend so much time on cooking, eating, so that we can reduce those time and we can increase some spiritual activities more. So that's how this Brita has been brought in Krishna consciousness, so that we can give more time to Krishna spiritual activity. We can chant more rounds, we can read more, and we can hear more. So like it says, like Madhav Tithi Bhakti Journey. So these are like Madhav Tithi Ekadashi, appearances, disappearances of the spiritual master and acharyas. Like these are Madhav Tithis. So in these days, if you do a lot of Krishna consciousness activities, and even doing in Kartik, it's like, uh, generally we say like 1,000 times benefit. And if you like Madhav Tithis are like special, and if you perform the spiritual activity that are like, going to give so much blessings, and will help us to go ahead in Krishna consciousness. So we thought of like speaking today about like one of the Mahajans. Like as you know, like there are 12 Mahajan, and so we can speak something about Bhishma Pitama. So we know, I know like Mataji has already speak about much more, but we'll talk about like pastime of the Bhishma Pitama, like who he was previous and how he came in this world, and what are the activities he has performed. So generally we say like Mahajana ena gatha supantha. So uh, actually in see in material life, we also we have teachers, but generally we claim like by my own effort I can do everything, and if I'll do hard work, if I put myself, I can achieve. But in the spiritual life it's like totally vice versa. Any material life also we required spiritual master, and we cannot uh, learn by own. But nowadays, like so many universities are there, you can go by your own self learning. But that is like material life. But in spiritual life, we have to follow the authorities. And actually, getting the mercy of Krishna, it's not like just you can learn so many slokas, and we are very good in giving presentation, and I'm good in speaking, and someone is doing in very good kirtan, and someone is uh, known shastra from very enthusiastically, and like core and everything. But we should know, like, we have to follow the acharya, and by their blessings only we can receive Krishna. We can have so many academic qualities, but those are not qualification to achieve Krishna. We hear the story of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, like how he went when he went to South India, and illiterate Brahmana was just seeing the poster of how Krishna became chariot of Arjuna, and just by seeing, he was crying. And when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked, like, why are you crying? He said, like, I cannot read, but my spiritual master has told me to read, and I'm trying to do, but I'm trying to follow him. But just buying first page, I'm just crying, like how he is merciful Lord, like he just want to become a servant of the devotees. you know so that's how, like, if you follow the, and the Chatan Mahaprabhu told him, like, you have achieved the perfection. You don't need to read Srimad Bhagavad. Means, like, you don't, even though you are not reading Bhagavad Gita, that's absolutely perfect, because you have achieved the what is the core heart, and you are following your spiritual master. So in our spiritual life, the main principle is following the spiritual master, his teachings, and whatever he has given. Like in Krishna consciousness, we have given like 16 attentive rounds. So we have to do attentive means, like, exclusively we can chant minimum 16 round, following full regularity principle, observing ekadasi. So these are like, and so these are the, like, it's like mainly following the Mahajanas. And we have 12 Mahajana over here. And so it's like Mahajana ena gatha supantha. So if whatever great soul does, common man follows. So we say, like, in Krishna has incarnated in this world. Various reasons are there. Like you say, like, matlab, if we go talk about Mahabharat, like, people know this B.R. Chopra. I'm grateful to B.R. Chopra. He made to learn in India, maybe, like, if you might have heard the Mahabharat in India. So two, three slokas, all the people know, like Karmanye Vadhikaraste Ma Phalesu Kadachana. And then Yada Yada Hi Dharmasya Glanirбhavati Bharata Abhyuthanam Dharmasya Tadatmanam Srijamyaham. So these are two, three slokas very popular in India. And Karmanye Vadhikarasya, they know that much. Like, if you do karma, they don't know the essence what exactly happening, but yeah, they know I'll do, then everything will be fine. So like, I will talk about something Mahabharat. So I was in that sense, I was telling, like, uh, we got something from Mahabharat which B.R. Chopra has given in India, but it's still, like, the things which he has shown is not absolutely, some of the things are not correct, but still he has given something. So I was speaking, like, Krishna come in this world to protect his devotees, and uh, establish the dharma again. And so we say, like, yada yada hi dharmasya. So he came here to protect the Pandavas. If you say, like, some of the incident, if you say, and when Draupadi was, being undressed, he came. And then when Parikshit Maharaj was there in womb, so he came to protect. When Uttara was running, he was running like anything, and he came to Krishna that something is coming towards me, and so he protected Uttara, like Parikshit Maharaj. And then when Kunti Maharaj, when he was going to Dwarka, just he wanted to go to Dwarka, and it was everything ready. Then Kunti Maharaj came, and he was asking, like, we have gone through so many calamities in this world, but we never felt even small. We never felt, because always we were in your guidance, and in your association. So we didn't feel. But now you are going, even though we have such opulence, we have got this kingdom, the entire world, and we have all facility, but now you are going, I am feeling like I don't have anything, and I want those days back. So it, like, in teachings of Kunti, also Kunti Maharani prayed, let the calamities come so that I can remember more. So we don't have that much fortune that we can ask to Krishna. And maybe like personally I am not that much capable that I can ask those kind of, but see, we have to follow the authorities. And Kunti Maharani in such a high level, so we can see like even so she's praying like, Krishna, let the calamities come, because in the calamity situation I can remember you more. And those are the days which are, very, very good days of in my life. I can remember those days because we were able to see you personally. And so in our life, I was thinking like we should also see like, uh, like when the phases come in life, like ups and downs, we should always remain in Krishna conscious. That's what we should say. Like हमें भक्ति स्टार्ट करनी चाहिए 5 साल से. We should start bhakti from initial days of life within 5 years. Like that's what Prahlad Maharaj. So that as we grow, we will be studying our Krishna consciousness. Though, so the ups and downs will not affect us. Correct. So so in our life, we have challenges comes. I will get married, then son, and this, and then family responsibility and job. But we should remember Kunti Maharani, how she was managing, and she was grateful to the Lord. So that's how, like, we should always try to remember Krishna. And what I was mentioning in the point here. So yeah, Kunti Maharani was like, very, very grateful, and she was telling Krishna, now, you are going, and we are feeling like all, alone in this material world, in this world. And that's how. And then Yudhishthir Maharaj again started weeping. He said like, I want this word, but I am feeling so much guilty. And then Krishna pacified him, like he was telling, due to me this war happened, and I wanted to be king, but he was like faultless. But still he was like that shows like those are like great soul. Even they don't do anything, but still they are ready to take the blame. So I was talking about like how Kunti Maharani has to gone through, even though Krishna was there. So similarly, if you see the life of Bhisma Dev, if you see from beginning till end, he was a Kshatriya. He could have enjoyed like anything. He has opulences, and he has lot of wealth, and he could have married so many wives, and he could have nicely enjoyed. But from beginning to the end, you see, it's like almost the life of Kunti Maharani. He was suffering in the sense, I'll say he was taking responsibility. And in material sense, if you say that he could not able to enjoy, and he could have enjoyed, but he taken the more responsibility and society responsibility in top way. And in that sense, if I say, uh, he has been blamed for, like, he's like politically motivated, because he was taking the side of Duryodhana. And even though he was taking the side of Duryodhana was blaming him that you are taking the side of Pandavas. So you can see it was his kingdom. He was like great grandfather, and now their grandchildren are blaming him that, you are taking this side, and you are not, in Hindi we say like, namak ka arj nahi ada kar rahe ho aap, है ना? And it's like you are not paying the whatever you have been given from this kingdom, or you have eaten, you are not repaying. So this kind of, blame game was going on. And so many blames has been put on him, like when Draupadi was, taking undress, why he didn't speak. So if you see, like when a Krishna came, so many people will talk about like those, so many stuff will talk like Krishna is this, and why he married so many wife. And so like that. So we have to, so one thing we need to understand here, we don't have to please the society, we have to please the Krishna. And if Krishna is pleased, everything we have achieved. But if Krishna is not pleased, nothing we have achieved. Whatever amount time we have spent in society to please them, to please the relative, and to them. But so in that sense, once I'm collecting one story. There was a, um, in Maharashtra, there was a sannyasi. And that sannyasi, he was like, he was worshipping the Vitthal Dev. So if someone might have went to Maharashtra, so Vitthal Dev is like, Krishna himself. And um, he was worshipping Krishna, and he was sannyasi. So Krishna inspired him in his heart and said, um, can you marry? And and once you get married, I want to send a spiritual and spiritual son, in the sense one of part of me, like great soul in your wife womb, and who will take ahead the Krishna consciousness, or he will do preaching. Now if you see, and then Krishna told to him, it's like, and I don't see anything capable around this area. And he gave him dream, and that's how you get married, and this is the wife you have to get married. Now if you see in social, and we are in 2023, if you talk about like some 200 or 300 years before, getting married of a sannyasi, it's like, I don't know how to explain this, but it's like, you are outcast or something like that. You have fallen down, and you have, broken the principle of religion. And that's how, like, people will criticize anything. But he didn't have time. How can he explain like Krishna dreamed now? And people, even though he is going to say, people are not going to believe him. He said, like, for your enjoyment, you are going to do like that. So even if that sannyasi could have done also, people would have not believed. But what he did, whatever Krishna told to him, he got and he married. And now you know what happened. They got a child, and whole society made them to be out of the society. And they were like real peace priest kind of devotee in the temple, but they had made outcast. And his son was name was like Gyaneshwar. The actually he was a part and parcel of Krishna, not part and parcel, I can say, in the sense like, he was a devotee of Lord, and Gyaneshwar. So he was born as a son as a Gyaneshwar. And once the child begot, and they said like, oh, we got why you married and you wanted to make a settled life and family. So they made him outcast, and they punished him. And in the punishment, they had to sentence to death. And they both sannyasi, and means like that devotee who was initially sannyasi, and they both left this world. And they had to, and due to society only, they made him to, death sentence. So that's how they died. And his son born as a Ganeshwara, and he was a great devotee of, Vitthal Dev. Now, in the age of 16, he wrote a poetry like Gyaneshwari. So Gyaneshwari is similar to Bhagavad Gita. We say like Bhagavad Gita as it is. So that time also there were up sampradaya in that area, like Maharashtra region was there. So Lord wanted him to establish. So it's like, Gyaneshwari is a kind of poetry, and it's like similar to Bhagavad Gita. So at the age of 16, he wrote that poetry, and he started preaching. But he was like outcast, so his whole generation, now his father did something in that sense, they were outcast, so the people are not allowing. And even they beated him like, how can you write this poem, and how can you write this Bhagavad Gita in Marathi language, if I say. So how can you write this, and you are an outcast person, you should not write. And people had chastised him like anything. Now what he did, uh, then to prove him that I am correct, and whatever I wrote, it's by the inspiration of Lord Krishna, then he touched an animal, and that was a buffalo. And he touched the head of that buffalo, and that buffalo started speaking Bhagavad Gita full. In Bhagavad Gita instance, I will say that Gyaneshwar in Marathi. And people were amazed like anything. And that's how they accepted him, reestablished that Gyaneshwar, Saint Gyaneshwar or Sant Gyaneshwar, if I say, established him again back to that position, and he became one of the priest of the temple for Vitthal Dev. And but he left the body after 21. He took him he himself took samadhi at the age of 21. So he wrote in 16 and took the samadhi at 21. And he himself did, because his, for whatever reason he came, that has been established. And people were amazed to see how like buffalo started speaking the Bhagavad Gita. And this is not new. Like if you see um, in our Srimad Bhagavatam, like Gajendra started speaking because he was Indradumna. So he started offering to the Lordship. And if you see deer, like Bharat Maharaj also came, he was very, so it's not very unnatural speaking, offerings or devotional songs by the animals. But I'm sensing, and I'm telling like it was astonished for the people. But it can be happen if the blessings of the supreme devotees is there, that any animal can also become the devotee of the Lord. If you see in the in Chaitanya Charitamrita also, when dog followed to the procession of Harinam, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says like he left this world and he got the form of life and he liberated. So that's not very amazing for the devotee, but I'm telling in that how since he has to prove to the society. So I was making a point like, we have to please Krishna. We don't have to please the society. Even if you see, if like whole life we have pleased the society, if you like, in businessman, if you see, we have started uh, a, B, C, D. And if you say like in Krishna consciousness, we say like whatever material activities you have done, that is not going to go with us. And even though if you perform spiritual activity, even a small amount of time, so Krishna will take care. He will also note like how many time you have paid obeisances, how many time you have, did Mangal Arati, how many time you have worshipped. So these account is always going to fill. But the material activity, whatever we are going to do, it's again we have to start even if we are getting the next human form of life. So what's the use of doing that? So a businessman should be very wise. So and Krishna and Prabhupada says like we are a perfect businessman in this, in Krishna consciousness. So we have to wisely invest our time, where to invest, whom to please, not it should not be vice versa. So that's what one point I wanted to mention. So um, I thought of covering some of the uh, very many devotees know about the Bhisma Panchak, so I thought I'll cover about like how Bhisma Dev came in this world and who was he in his previous life or something like that. So there is a story comes, Brahma was doing one time yagya in Brahmaloka, and he invited great soul and saint and so many kings over there, and he started doing yagya. And in yagya there was Ganga Devi was also present, and one king named Maha Abhishek was also present over there. And Ganga and Maha Abhishek was sitting opposite side. Means like one was north and opposite like that direction. So so and Ganga Devi is considered as like most beautiful woman in this world. And so what happened? Maha Abhishek got attracted towards him, and they both started looking each other. And then you can see like Brahma was available and he has four heads, so he can see everything. So he saw both of them and he said to them, this yajna is going on, and what you guys are doing, this is not a place for that, and we should not perform this kind of activity over here. And so he cursed them. So you wanted to be together, so you better go to the material world, and you can whatever you want to marry or something like that, you can do over there. No, just I try to make clear this point. This uh, people will thinking like how a Ganga Devi can do, but that's like sometime it's arrangement of the Lord, and it inspired in the heart of that devotee to fulfill some purpose. So that's how the things happen, and it's taking the lesson to the common people. So that's how these things happen. So it's not like that Ganga Devi is being attracted or something like that. So they got cursed and they came to this world, material world. And how so now this Maha Abhishek came in the one shop, Vashu. And not Vashu, I'm telling Chandra Vansha. So you might have heard so many Vansas are like Surya Vansa, Yadu Vansa, like Krishna came in Yadu Vansa. And when Lord Ramchandra, their dynasty comes in Surya Vansha. And if you see the Parasuram, they came in Agni Vansha. So he personally requested like to Brahma that I want to go to in the Vansha of Chandra Vansa. So in Chandra Vansa, he appeared as a Santanu Maharaj, son of Prateep. So here comes the Santanu Maharaj. So what happened? Like when they came in this world, so after some time, Maha Abhishek appeared as the Santanu Maharaj in the dynasty of Chandravansa, and Mother Ganga appeared in some other place. And eventually, as prom, it was pre-decided, they met at one place, and Santanu Maharaj wanted to get married to Ganga Devi. Now Ganga Devi comes here and she said, you might have already knowing this, but still I want to recap this. So Ganga Devi told to Santanu Maharaj that, yeah, I'm ready to marry you, but there are two conditions which you have to follow. That you will never ask me what I am going to do, and you will not speak the harsh word. So yeah, Santanu Maharaj said, not a problem. I just want to marry to you, and whatever condition, if you even if you have third condition, I'm not going to bother about you, but yeah, I'm ready to going married. And then what happened, like this eventually started, they got married, and Santanu Maharaj and Ganga Devi begot children. And what happened, like they got their first children, and Santanu Maharaj so happy that he got it, he blessed with a child. And what happened, in front of his eyes, Mother Ganga went and she put that particular that child into the water. And then Santanu Maharaj realized also that I should not speak whatever she's going to say. So he started crying, and but um, he he was quiet and he didn't speak any word. These things happen 7 times. So they got the second child, third child, fourth, the fifth, the fifth, sixth, and seventh. And Santanu Maharaj was thinking like anything, like he was telling like, how can a mother will be so hard-hearted that, and he's an infant baby, and she can put that baby in water. So now when the eighth child came, Santanu Maharaj could not able to control himself. And with a great anger, he started speaking harsh word. And he said, "How? What kind of lady you are? Your name is a Mother Ganga, but how can you do that? He's an infant child. He just born. What kind of? Even he didn't perform any activity so that you can give a punishment to him. He just born, and how can you do? So now, why you are you doing?" So he started asking question, and he started speaking the harsh word. Now he broke his promise. So, and he knew that I have broken the promise. And Mother Ganga reminded him, now you have the broken the promise, I am going to leave you. And then he asked like, why are you doing? At least you tell me, even though you are going to leave, but at least tell me why are you doing this? Then Mother Ganga comes back, and he explained the story why. Because see, if you see, Mother Ganga is like, there must be some reason why she was doing like that, because she can't be cruel like anything. And we go and pray to her, you know, and she's the supreme mother. And how can, so she started explaining like why these things happen, and why I killed those seven infant child. So here a story comes, a story of Vasishtha Muni. So she started explaining the story behind why she's killing those seven infant child. So there was a story like in the ashram of Vasishtha Muni, there was a Kamdhenu Surabhi cow. So you might have heard so many story like the fight happened for Vishwamitra when he wanted to steal the, and then Indra wanted to steal the Surabhi cow. So same happened here as well. So it's like, there was some Vashu. So Vasu is also one of the dynasty, and here it's like dynasty of demigod, similar to those kind of uh, ancestor, if you say in that sense, the like lineage of demigod. And there are 8 brothers of Vasus, and in who was the smallest one, her wife asked that I wanted to take that cow. And they saw, because like, and Vasishtha Muni was in deep meditation, and he was seeing everything like they are doing, and they wanted to steal, and that kind of thought they are getting. But that the Vashu was there, and he promised, oh no worry, I will take, I will steal. If I have to fight, I will fight, but somehow or other I'll give. So now we should learn one point over here, like uh, so so if you see this kind of story and this kind of proposal also sometime bring the disaster in our life. And it's not like we should fulfill all the time. And being in a grahastha ashram, if you see that so many stories comes in Mahabharat, like when Mother Sita was there, she was being attracted to deer, golden deer. And then she was asking to Lord Ram like anything, I want this golden deer, that's all. And then you see how the um, this whole Ramayana happens. So I there is a in Ramayana there's a sloka comes like how it defined, like Adau Ram tapobanadhikam hatva mrigan kanchanam Vaideharnam jatayumarnam sugrivam sambhashanam Vali nigrahanam samudra taranam lankapuri dahanam Paschad Ravan Kumbhakarna Hananam Etadhi Ramayanam. So that's like whole Ramayana. So how it is start? Adav Ram Tapo Banadigamanam. So Lord Ram went to Vana and Hatva Mrigang Kanchanam. So that's like real things comes from where this whole Ramayana starts. And like Mother Sita wanted to that golden deer, and all the pastime, like how it started, blaming to Lord Lakshmana that you wanted to enjoy me and those stuff. So many stories are there behind. And then Vaidehi Haranam Jatayu Maranam. So then Mother Sita is being kidnapped, and then Jatayu Maranam. Then Jatayu is being killed. Sugrivam Sambhashanam, and then Sugriva and this Sugriva comes, and then Bali is being killed. Uh, Bali, not Bali, Bali. And then Samudritarnam Lanka Puri Dahanam. Then they deliver the whole sea, and Lanka Puri Dahanam means that Lanka is being burned. Tat Paschad Ravan Kumbhakaran Hananam. And after that, Ravan and Kumbhakaran are being killed, and Taddi Etati Ramayana. So it's this like whole stanza comes and it summarizes the whole Ramayana. So I'll repeat one more. Adau Ram Tapovanadhigam Maghatva Mrigang Kanchanam Vedi Haranam Jatayumarnam Sugrivam Sambhashanam Vali Nigranam Samudritaranam Lankapuri Dahanam Paschad Ravan Kumbhakaranhamnam Etadhi Ramayanam. So that's how like whole Ramayana happens. So I was just giving one example over here, the uh, how same things happen here as well. So what happened? They were trying to steal the cow, and Vasishtha Muni got to know. And when he saw they are trying to steal, he cursed him like anything, and he cursed him that you will, even though you will be infant, you'll be murdered. And the last eighth one was there, eighth Vasu. He pleaded like, oh no no, I know I committed the mistake, but please forgive me. So our rishis are like they are very merciful, and they are they are very sometimes they give the if you do wrong they will curse also, but they are very merciful at the same time. So he gave, okay, you are asking for the forgiveness, then I will give you boon that you will get a long life. So that's how this so Ganga Mata explained the story to Santanu Maharaj, that's why I am killing, and these were the reason. So I was thinking like that, if Mother Ganga could have already explained to Santanu, then it could have very easy, like Santanu also could not have cried like oh this lady, and there could not have been so much misunderstanding, isn't it? And so Santanu was telling, why could I have not told you earlier? Like you could have done this, then I could have not told you, and our relation could not have broken, and our agreement, whatever agreement we made, that could have continued. But you see, we like to love drama, suspense, thriller, and that's how these like Hollywood are there, Bollywood are there, and so many movies are being made. If everything is revealed in to you earlier, then what's the suspense? So this Krishna also trying to make the this word as a suspense. So that's how these stories comes, and and we have a lot of learning as well. It's not like suspense and thriller. We have a lot of learning, like where things are being made, what could we have done. So this is like we should take the teachings from them, what could we have done. So these kind of similar situations, if you see in Srimad Bhagavatam, Ramayana, Mahabharata, these are like common dealings with women, with relative, with our family members. So these are the dealing, and they are teaching us how we could have not done this and we could have done this, so that we could have able to maintain our good relationship. Even if I was telling like so many stories we have discussed, 2 3 stories, like stealing the cow and stealing the trying to kill the heron. And here like agreement is being made between Santanu and Mother Ganga. So then whatever was agreement was being made, so Ganga, like divorce has been filed in one sense, if I say. And they they went this way and that way, like they broke each other, and But Santanu Maharaj, I don't know, like he was, bit in dilemma, and he said like, better you take this eighth child as well, and uh, it will be good if you can take this child. So what happened, like then Mother Ganga goes to heavenly planet, and she takes that eighth child, which name was, Bhishma. Bhishma was named as a later, but Devavrata. So she took the Devavrata, and then in heavenly planets, Bhishma Dev will be there. Like his name is not no Bhishma, it's like Devavrata, and Devavrata will be there for many years, and he's being taught by so many saints, like including Parashuram and many others, and different, in academics, in fighting, and so many different things he learns over there. And time passes, and one time Santanu Maharaj goes for, jungle to Rome, and he sees, and he used to go to the, Ganges very often to, just to, uh, to be there at the bank of river. So he one time he went, and he saw that like flow is, like the Ganges flow is going this direction, but suddenly it started flowing opposite direction, and he can see like there are some um, kind of flows is also being made. It's like, someone is shooting arrow, and arrow goes straight, and that's how, so many lines were there. So he was very amazed. How can it is possible? When he went more nearer from where this direction was going opposite, he saw like, a very beautiful young man is there, and he's just such a perfect in, shooting the arrows, that he had changed the direction of the Ganges in reverse order. So he asked him like, "Who are you, gentleman?" And the moment he asked, he get disappear. So Devbrat get disappear, and then Santanu Maharaj started thinking who was that guy and who was that person. And so what happened? He started praying to Mother Ganga, like, because he was at, and then Mother Ganga appears, and he tells the whole story, that he is our son, and he's a Devbrat, and he has been trained from so many teachers in heavenly planets, and including his name, including, Parasuram. So he requests them to, come to the come along with him. So then Mother Ganges requested to Devbrat, and that's how he come into the into the uh, association of Santanu. So what happened? Like when he it was his age at 32. It has been written over there in Mahabharata, 32, age of 32. So that's how they started spending life, and now Santanu has decided that I will make, you know, and he already declared he is a prince of the world, and then he declares him as that he is going to be a future king. So that's how things being passed. And one day what happened, like, the story of Satyavati, so that's how, like, one day again he goes and he gets attracted to Satyavati, who was the, you know daughter of a fisherman. And he goes to there, and the cutting in short, if I'll say. So he proposed to Satyavati that I want to get married to you. But she said like, I don't have any problem, but I just want to get the permission from my father. And his father comes, and he said, oh, you are a king, and if you marry him, after some time definitely she's going to become a dasi. So I can't believe, and I don't want to become my daughter as a dasi. And Satyavati, I just give a small glimpse about Satyavati, who she was. So Satyavati was also known as a Matsgandha. And you might be knowing, like, mats means like machli, it's like fish. So she and her father both were, doing the business of, fish. And so due to that, they both used to get the so much smell of the fish from their body. And her main business was there. She used to help the people to cross the river from here to there. And so what happened, one time Parashar Muni came. And Parashar Muni, you might be knowing, like, he's like Jyotish Shastra, he's like who has given the Jyotish Shastra to us. And so when he was uh, crossing the river, uh, he saw the Satyavati, and he told to Satyavati that, uh, so Krishna inspired him to Parashar Muni and told him that, Parasar Muni told to Satyavati that, would you like to become the son of a devotee of the Lord? And she gets agreed because he was saintly person, and so that's how it happens. So she gets agreed, and then uh, Dvipayan Vedvyas. So that's how the Vedvyas comes from the womb of Matsyagandha. And so Vyasdev bonds, and he immediately left, as you know that story of Sukadev Goswami. He comes and immediately leave this his parents, and similarly, when the moment he born, he went and he said, like, whenever you need me, I don't have time. I want to go in spiritual activities, and I want to do the meditation of Lord Krishna. Whenever you need is there, you call me. I will definitely come. So Vedvyas goes, and then he said, like, now I was a kanya, but now society will not accept me. So uh, Parashar Muni gives her boon to become a kanya again, and he because her body was smelling like Matsya, and he gives a boon also, so that she became beautiful, and uh, so there was no fragrance of fish was coming. So that's how this was her previous, like how Satyavati was there. And so I just wanted to make one point over here, like it's not like that Parasar Muni got attracted towards her and something happened, but it was like inspired from Krishna. And uh, and if you see, like we should not consider in these incident as like something in a wrong way. If you see, like, something has been wrong, then how can a person in elevated person is come in this from her move, like Vedvyas, like Dvipayan Vedvyas, and he who wrote the whole literature. So it's like Krishna inspired, then only these things happen, and this is the like plan of the Krishna. So that's how the further story goes. And uh, that's how Santanu was being asked from uh, from her Satyavati father that uh, you should make him as a your permanent queen, and you should not marry to other, and her child will become only the king. And they were aware about the Bhisma Dev, then what will happen to him. So this kind of conversation was going on, and Santanu Maharaj Santanu became frustrated and came to uh, his kingdom and palace, and he told his minister these things happen, and he was very sad. And this conversation between Santanu Muni and uh, ministers was being heard by Devavrata. And when Devavrata got to know, he immediately went to the father of Satyavati, and he said, uh, not at all. If you, whatever conditions you have, I am going to fulfill, and I will never become a king, and nor I will marry. And so this condition has been put over there, and that's how it happened, and that's how his name is become Bhishma. So at the moment he take that brata, choose brata, that I will not marry and I will not beget children, and that's how the demigod start flowering the flower from heavenly planets. And this is because it's like it's not very common, it's very unusual being a king, and he has such a big kingdom, he has opulence, and he's taking that those kind of brata. So that's how his name became Bhishma. And later what happens, from Santanu and Satyavati, two children comes, like uh, Vichitraveer and Vichitraveer and Chitrangat and Vichitraveer, and later they get married with Ambe Ambalika. So not Amba Ambe Ambalika, this like Bhishma only goes and take them. So Ambe Ambalika. So Amba was had some love earlier, to some other person. So that's how she is not ready to marry. Then Ambe Ambalika gets married to Chitrangada and Vichitraveer, and Amba became the I just want to cut the story short. So that's how she becomes Sikhandi, and there was a fight happens between Parashuram and Bhishma Dev, and those kind of conversation happen. And in next life, she becomes as a Sikhandi, and that she becomes the reason of killing the Bhishma Dev. And from Ambike, Dhritarashtra and Pandu is being born, and then from and you know the story, like they Chitrangada and Vichitravid gets uh, they go to jungle, and they passed away, and Ambalika and another one, they both there, and then again Vyasadeva comes and impregnate them, and that's how Dhritarashtra and Pandu won, and this Vidur, like Dasi Putra is being considered. I'm just making it short because I think it's 9 o'clock. I had to tell so many stuff, but I'm just cutting it short and making it the end point. And Dhritarashtra and Pandu. So Dhritarashtra and Pandu comes, and the story, like why Dhritarashtra is being blind, because when Vedvyas comes to impregnate, and she gets afraid, and when he goes to Dasi, and she welcomes very gently. So that's how Vidur Maharaj. So now in their kingdom, like Vidur Maharaj, Dhritarashtra and Pandu, and then Pandu dies and Madri dies. So that's how Dhritarashtra remains at the end, and Vidur Maharaj. So I just wanted to conclude here, and the things is, like if you see the life of Bhishma here, he was just keep on taking vows, one vow, second vow, third vow. So he has given the word to Satyavati that I will take care of your children. So if you see from his father Santanu till Pandav and Kaurava, still he was taking care of them. Being a Kshatriya, he could have enjoyed life like anything. He could have married so many wives, and he could have ruled the entire kingdom like a single king. But he wanted to follow the dharma that is called Mahajana. He wanted to follow the dharma that is called Mahajana. And if you see his life, it's not like it's. I was thinking, like when I was reading about him, it's like totally equivalent to uh, Kunti Maharani. In one sense, he was from his heart he wanted to give favor to Pandavas, but he had, because he was obliged to, he has given his word that I will take care for the kingdom. Then he was with the Duryodhana. He was being criticized from the Duryodhana that you are taking food here, but you are favoring to Pandavas, and that's how. Uh, so you can imagine his life, how his life was going through, and still uh, he was keep on continuing his life. And at the end, if you see, like when the battle happens, like uh, so at the end, when Yudhishthir Maharaj got his kingdom and everything, so Krishna personally sends Yudhishthir Maharaj to take the lessons from Bhishma. He could have preached him directly, but he wanted to glorify Bhishma Deva, isn't it? So if you see in general life also, if parents are there, when they heard the glories of their child, they will become more happy. And in Prabhupada also gives example, if a person is there and his dog is there, if you please the dog, by default, a person gets pleased. So if you glorify the son, father's gets automatically pleased. So here Krishna wanted to glorify Bhishma Deva, his sacrifice and his values. And if you see in the when Bhishma Deva is being killed in the during the war, uh, Krishna personally take that chak, not chakra, he's like one of the wheel of the ratha, and he just rushed toward the Bhishma Dev to kill him. And Bhishma Dev dropped his bow and he said, Vasudev, this only of your form I wanted to see. And here, if you see, Krishna has taken the vow that I will not take even a single weapon during the whole war, but he has broken his vow just to protect the words of the devotees. Even in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna refers sometime to Arjuna that I will not say, because people don't take my word seriously. You say, है ना? So he says through the mouth of Arjuna that those who worship me, they will never perish. So he says the mouth of Arjuna. So if you see, Lordship is, Krishna is ready to break his own vow for the pleasure of the devotees and pleasure of Bhishma Dev. So if you see like the sacrifice of Bhishma Deva is being made in throughout the life, so you will be very amazed. So it's already 9:10, so I just wanted to make it short, but there are a lot of things to discuss. But just what I would like to see, like we have one sloka in sixth canto. It comes like who glorifies the all the nine Mahajana. It's like Swambhu, Narada, Sambhu, Kumar, Kapilo, Manu, Prahlado, Janko, Bhismo, Balir, Vayaskir, Vayam. So these are the like nine Mahajans are there in our Srimad Bhagavatam. It is mentioned, and Mahajana en Gatha Supantha. So these are the Mahajan we should follow in our life, and we should take ahead our Krishna consciousness. So thank you so much for all the devotees for their time and patience and be here. Uh, Please forgive me if I have made any mistake or something which should not be in proper way and I have told in different way. So please forgive me that. Uh, and yeah, so we'll move further. And if some announcements are there, and Kripashanpu, are you here? Like, can we show the score about the means like anyone is there who is aware about the score for like Damodar or like how many programs has been done and how many soul has been shown to the artist? Hare Krishna. Vivek Prabhu, can you hear me?
Yes, Prabhuji, I can hear you. Yes. So
Yeah.
the score has been published today by Kripa Sindhu Prabhu, and so far we have number of lamps looks to be approximately reaching the score, and except yeah, so the only thing where we have to do is now we don't have much time, but the home program where we are lacking a lot, and books distribution, because now it's only 2 days. So whatever devotee could do on his working hours, weekends, they could do. So that's all great. So looks okay, Prabhu, from Damodar point of view. But the main thing what we have to now gear us regarding the Gita Gyan registration. So we have
Mhm.
8 days more to start this Gita Gyan. So I will request everyone to please nominate and publish this course, wonderful course, to your friends, family, co-worker, colleagues, so that it can be glorified. So we know the Bhagavad Gita. Even everyone doesn't know, right? We just see, oh, Bhagavad Gita, I know. But if you ask anything, essence of Bhagavad Gita, very less people will know, oh, chapter 2 is this, chapter 3 is this. But these PPTs are very nicely prepared to go into just even if it is non-devotional, non-spiritual person, they can quickly get it inside their mind, and it will be memorable for longer time. So I will request that thing. And another thing is regarding Gita Gyan facilitator. So please come forward for facilitation of this 18 days course, because without devotees like us, if we don't come forward for facilitation, then who will do this? We can't expect it from new person, right? And even we can't expect that our dham leader will step down and do this thing, because they have a lot of other planning which is coming next month or next month, and they load up a lot of engagement and other things going on. So BV leaders, circle and sector leaders, BV members, they should come forward and take part in Gita Gyan course facilitation. This is just 18 days, 7:30 to 8:30 via Zoom. You don't have to go anywhere. If you are working from home, then it is the best. Even if you are working from office, but I think by 7:30 you should be in. Or even if you are not in, then you can have a pair of two devotee who can cover you whenever you are late. So this combination will work, but certainly we need minimum overall, I can see 20 to 25 devotees from our East London congregation who are ready for doing this class from 15th of November. So Kripa Sindhu Prabhu is doing his best to allocate the class dham wise and everything as per the area code. But the final thing is, the main lead thing is to get ready the facilitator. So I will request again to everyone, if you have time, please nominate yourself. So you can give your name to respective Gita Gyan coordinators. So for Mathura Dham, it's Rahul Prabhu. For Dwarka Dham, it's Mataji, Lakshmi Mataji, what is the name? So, and for this Kripa Sindhu, for Jagannath Dham, Kripa Sindhu Prabhu can help here. So this is what I understood from current situation of Gita Gyan. So Lakshmi Chaitanya Mataji is from Dwarka Dham, and you can give name to Kranti Prabhu for Kripa Sindhu Prabhu for Jagannath Dham. For Mathura, you can give it to me, Shivam Prabhu or Rahul Prabhu. So we need 20 to 25 name finalized, means ASAP. It's already delayed. So I know everyone is busy in Damodar, but getting confirmation doesn't take much time, right? It's your willingness. Oh, I have to do or not do. So just think on it and prepare your name. So this is one thing. Another is related to Gita month. So we have Prabhupada Marathon month is coming. So that time, ISKCON London Soho Temple devotee has requested us a lot of various services like Prabhupada dressing, bathing trays, prasadam cooking, breakfast cooking, temple cleaning. Those services are there, and I have published in one of the leader group. So please connect with your leaders, BV leaders or sector leader or dham leader if you are interested to go. These are, most of them are morning services daily. It's not only weekend, it's daily, starting from 1st December to I think 24th or 25th, entire December, because all the devotees, brahmacharis are going for book distribution, Harinam Sankirtan from Soho. So we have to back up their service with our devotee. That's why we are going only in December month. I know many of you have planned the vacation after school. I think school is closing after 16th or 17th. But half of the month still we have to cover by our best presence. So these are the two Prabhu announcements from our side.
Yeah, Haribol. Thank you, Prabhu. So, yeah, I think Prabhu. So, thank you so much, devotees, for joining the class and being your participation. And tomorrow is like, I think we are breaking the fast. So, happy fast breaking tomorrow and successful Bhisma Panchak Vrata. So, that's what I can pray. And, yeah, bro. So, if you have nothing, then we can close the meeting, close. Yeah?
Anyone
Kripa
showing
Sindhu, do you have anything?
darshan today?
Prabhu, maybe I'm not sure if Vijay Prabhu is there in the house, or because Jagannath
Hare
has
Krishna,
shifted to
Prabhu.
Pramida Mataji house, I think.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
Bhaskar Prabhu, Hari Bol.
Yeah, Hari Bol.
Jai,
Prabhu.
Jai,
Yeah,
Jai.
I'm good. All right.
Hare Krishna,
Jagannath
Prabhu.
is ready to sleep now, so he's in night dress. But yeah, I can just quickly. share.
So
Bhaskar
tomorrow,
Prabhu, please give us also mercy from your home.
Sure, Prabhu.
tomorrow lunar eclipse. What is there in UK? What time? Prabhu?
Jagannath.
जय श्री जगन्नाथ
Jagannath,
बल्लभ
Jai
सुभद्रा
Baladev.
महारानी की जय, पंचतत्व भगवान की जय.
They are getting ready. This is Gaurani. So we made like two altars because he's not able to adjust. So if it's a long, yeah. So Jagannath for separate one. So all Gauranitas are in.
Hari Bol, wonderful, very
Awesome.
nice.
Three Gauranitas. So we are getting ready to sleep. There. So let go fall.
When you have so many Gauranita, you are so much powerful, Prabhu.
All devotees mercy, Prabhu. So, Jai Jagannath. Okay, Prabhu. So, Hari Bol.
Okay, Prabhu, thanks for darshan.
Hari Bol, Prabhu.
Hari bol.
Hari Bol. Hari
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.